So this is Pixar's second feature of 2015, and it's been a very, very long time coming. It shouldn't have come on the heels of Inside Out. It should have been out a while ago. They had a lot of problems with the story. Original director Bob Peterson was removed. Extensive re-editing, re-recording happened, losing many of the original cast, including John Lithgow and Bill Hader. So now finally the film arrives, and the setup is... at the beginning, there's actually the best joke in the movie is that there is now how do we get this? They're meteors when they're in space, but they're asteroids if they come into the atmosphere, right? Okay, well, the story is that that a meteor or asteroid strike caused
dinosaur extinction.
Dinosaur extinction.
Yes.
Best gag in the beginning of the movie, which is in the trailer. I'm not giving anything away. It misses, and all the dinosaurs look up, watch it miss, and then go on munching. Sometime later, we have moved to evolved dinosaurs. We have a young evolved dinosaur called Arlo, who's separated from his family, loses him a thing, has to find his way back, teams up with a young, unevolved human dog boy called Spot. So the joke is it's like one dog and his man, but actually the dinosaur, so it's role reversed. And as they go on their quest, which is kind of part incredible journey, part Western, they run into a bunch of other characters en route. At one section, they end up in something which is kind of like a cattle rustling Western, but the plot doesn't make much more sense than that. Here's a clip.
Hey, you okay, kid?
Yes. I hate those kind. Lion sons of crawdads picking on a kid. Well, ain't you just the cutest thing?
He likes you.
Imagine that, Ramsey. Even with your stinky face.
Nash! Boundaries? This is my personal bubble.
Nah, that ain't your bubble. This is your bubble!
Nash, get out of your sister's bubble.
The problem is this. Pixar have always said that they put story first. I mean, that's the great John Lasseter mantra, isn't it? Stories more. If you start looking at the digital animation and going, wow, that's really well animated hair, then something is amiss. Now, clearly this has had a difficult run to the screen, and I don't think that in the end it has really solved its story problems. It's not a story that it's a what if story, as so many Pixar films are, but it's not a what if story that really ever gels or quite decides what it is. The agrarian farming dinosaurs, the unevolved dog boy, the bit when it's a sort of a Western, the bit when it's it hasn't quite figured out its internal problems. Now, that said, because it's Pixar and because they are the animators that they are, there are individual set piece scenes all the way through that are in and of themselves entertaining. And there's a lovely score by Jeff and Michael Dana, incidentally. But for too much of it, you end up looking at the sort of photorealist backgrounds, which are just astonishing, these landscapes which are breathtaking, and these very cartoony dinosaurs who sort of seem to jar with the photorealist background, and realise that the fact that you're worrying about that means that the story isn't getting you to where it's meant to be. There are individual scenes that work. There are individual scenes that tug at the heartstrings. A sort of wordless sequence in which the dinosaur and the boy both explain to each other by drawing circles in the sand that they have lost a parent or parents, is very movingly done and reminds you of the silent movie beauty of some of the best animation that Pixar do. You look at the beginning of Wall-E, for example. I know there are sound effects. I know there are music. It's still using silent cinema tropes. But what it doesn't have is any of that sense of the classic Pixar construction in which the idea, you go, yeah, got it, absolutely, understand, bang on, and we're with it. So it's a disappointment. That's not to say that you will not enjoy sections of it, because it's pretty much impossible for Pixar to make a film that doesn't have good things in it. But following hot on the heels of Inside Out, the shortcomings are all the more apparent.